My name is Heidi L and I have been involved with sports since I was, 10, 11, swimming, and then I moved into triathlons when I got older. My knees have always hurt since I was 7, I remember the first time, just being in the snow. I never had time where I didn't have pain, and just doing things like walking up and down stairs, sitting, kneeling, anything I wanted to do. Biking, I would get off my bike and my knee would be locked for a while. It was just really bad. I couldn't do everyday things.
I met Heidi about 3 years ago, and even at that point she had had some quite significant issues with her knees. She was very active, and so a lot of her background was around exercise, and even did some Ironman triathlons and things like that. So she was extremely active, put a lot of stress and strain on her body. But the way she generally describes it is that she's essentially had bad knees her whole life in one way or another. Obviously she found ways to do well in that scenario and continue to stay active and functional, but as she got further into life and as she continued to use her knees, they just got worse and worse, to the point where she started seeking treatment for them.
I was able to get through a lot. Looking at my x-rays, they were really bad. They were bone on bone. I was getting grooves and cut into them, to my knees. So I did things, but it was just so painful. After I would get done with a big workout or something, I would have to usually lay down. I had ice packs everywhere. I had ice packs at work, I had ice packs at home. I would take a leave every once in a while when I had like a 100-mile ride or something, just to get through the pain, because the next day it'd always be sore. So I knew that if I had a big workout the day before, the next day I was going to be pain.
When I met Heidi, she had already been going through some of the conservative treatments. So she'd been doing injections pretty routinely. That was a combination of steroid injections. She also actually did relatively well with the lubrication type injections too. And so we continued that initially when I first met her. As the year or two progressed, those became less effective, and that's a common process. And so as these conservative treatments lose their effect, now we're back in that conversation of the pain is getting worse, we're not managing it well, what's the next step?
I made the decision to have surgery when my injections no longer worked. I had horrible swelling in both knees, and I knew I was headed that way. I knew I had been thinking about it, that it would be the next 2 or 3 years, because I had been going for a long time and had a lot of pain and knew that I was living on borrowed time. So I just decided, as long as I have to have it done, I might as well just do it now. And I had both knees done 6 weeks apart. Yeah, Dr. Hansen was definitely a partner in the whole thing, because I did not feel like he was the doctor and the surgeon telling me what to do. And he was amazing at listening to who I am. And he didn't treat me like, you're some old lady and you don't have any future of doing anything. And he just really partnered with me and listened and didn't assume that I wasn't going to do anything else. I really like that about him, because his whole team was that way. So my life after surgery, it's amazing. It is night and day. Like I said, I feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life. It's just amazing. I can do things without pain, without thinking. I do not regret 1 second having done it. It has been the best thing. My sister said, I've never known you not to be in pain since you were kids. And my husband is the same. He's like, we've been married over 30 years. He said, you've always had pain. He said, it's remarkable.